When I opened the front door, the air inside felt wrong. It was quiet, too quiet. Not the peaceful kind, but the kind that makes your stomach twist. I called out. No answer. Then I saw her, Grandma, slumped in her recliner, pale, lips dry, breathing shallow. A glass of water on the table, untouched. TV on mute. The sound of her oxygen machine barely a whisper. I knelt beside her. Her eyes fluttered open for half a second, just enough to recognize me. "You came back," she rasped. "Yes, I came back. From Iraq. A month earlier than anyone expected." I checked her pulse. Weak. She hadn't eaten in God knows how long. I searched the kitchen. Empty fridge, mail piled high, bills unopened. And then I saw my parents. Not in person. On Facebook. Sunburned and smiling, drinks in hand, posting from Cabo. The caption burned into me. "Finally free for a week, no responsibilities, no stress." No responsibilities. I swallowed the rage. I called an ambulance, rode with Grandma, stayed at her side until she was stable, hooked up to IV fluids, color slowly returning. She squeezed my hand, a flicker of relief in her eyes. She didn't ask where my parents were. Maybe she already knew. When she fell asleep, I drove back to the house, straight to Grandpa's study. The safe was still in the corner, tucked behind a fake bookshelf. I'd memorized the combination when I was 16, back when Grandpa still trusted my parents. The dial clicked. Inside, old documents, bonds, a manila folder labeled "Will" in Grandpa's careful handwriting. I opened it, read every line, and I realized my parents were set to inherit everything. Grandma, too frail to argue, had been manipulated into signing an updated version after Grandpa died. The house, the savings, the land, it was all theirs, unless the will changed again. I sat there for a long moment, weighing the weight of paper in my hands against the years of neglect, the drunken fights, the way they treated Grandma like a burden. Then I picked up my phone. I called Mr. Dalton, Grandpa's old lawyer, a man who owed me more than one favor. Over the next week, I visited Grandma every day. I fed her, paid the bills, let her talk about Grandpa until her voice grew tired. And quietly, I worked. Dalton came by. We drafted a new will, one that left the estate to me, with a trust set aside for Grandma's care. Every dotted I and crossed T airtight. Dalton knew exactly how to make it bulletproof. Grandma signed it willingly, hands trembling, but eyes fierce. "They don't deserve a dime," she whispered. I locked the original will back in the safe, untouched. My parents wouldn't know a thing, until it mattered. 2 weeks later, Grandma passed in her sleep. Peaceful, no suffering. I handled the funeral. My parents didn't rush back from Cabo. They posted a single black and white photo of Grandma on Facebook, captioned, "Rest easy, you beautiful soul," like they'd been here the whole time. They didn't even ask who paid for the burial. The reading of the will was scheduled for the following Monday. They walked in late, sunglasses on indoors, smelling faintly of sunscreen and tequila. My mother shot me a half smile, the kind that said she still thought I was just the kid in the room. Dalton began reading, paragraph by paragraph. My parents relaxed, assuming they knew what was coming. And then he read the amended clause, the one cutting them out entirely, leaving them nothing. The silence was deafening. My father's jaw tightened. My mother's face drained of color. This is a joke?" she stammered. Dalton shook his head. "It's legal. Witnessed. Filed." They turned to me. "You did this." I met their eyes. Calm. "No. Grandma did this. I just made sure her wishes were carried out." My father's voice cracked with anger. "You stole from us." "No," I said. "You abandoned her." That's when the phone started buzzing. 60, 82 missed calls over the next 24 hours. My mother's frantic voicemails, my father's furious texts. "We need to talk." "You can't do this! Where are you?" I didn't answer. Instead, I blocked their numbers. The house is mine now. The land, too. I set up a scholarship fund in Grandma's name. Her photo sits on the mantel, framed in gold. Some nights, I walk past her chair. I can almost hear her say it again. "You came back." And I did. Not just for her, for justice. They thought Cabo was paradise, but I made sure they came home to nothing.